I realized that love is what got this union to where it is. It wasn't nothing else, no resources, once again, no money. It was just people coming together.
So that was Chris Small speaking at a U.S. Cuba normalizing event. I think he's one of the most exciting young organizers that we've seen in a while. And I want to thank Amazon. I want to thank Amazon for giving us Chris Small, because when he started, he was working in a warehouse and all he wanted to do was get a promotion. And he thought, I'll keep my head down. He started as a picker, he became a manager, and he thought, in a couple of years, level 4 is there for me. That's what I want. And then they fired him because they said he stole 2 minutes of time from the company. It turned out they were wrong and they reinstated him, but now they began putting him on different shifts. They wouldn't let him transfer to the warehouse he wanted, and still all he wanted was to get his promotion in his job. He never thought he was going to be an activist. And then he ends up at a different plant. And of course, COVID happens, and he ends up advocating for PPE and he gets fired. And all he wanted was his job back. And then Amazon and Jeff Bezos came together and they said they were going to make Chris Smalls the face of the movement because he was not smart and he was not articulate. So I thank them for that anti-blackness, because from that moment, Chris Smalls realized who he was, and he began organizing the warehouse, which is 8,000 people, the size of a small town. And every day at the bus stop, these people just barbecued, they handed out leaflets, they had less than $100,000. They were combated by Amazon that spent $4 million. The typical union movement often has millions of dollars from major unions who did not support these young, largely Black and Latino workers, were not supported at all. And they successfully were the first union to organize Amazon. Now 50 different warehouses have come together and they are pushing for unions too. And it is a movement, but it is more than just a movement at Amazon. It is more than just a labor movement. This is a young Black-led movement that understands the radical Black tradition and has reached out, talking about Cuba and our international justice, talking about the military, talking about racial justice around the world. And we are seeing this radical spirit that, by the way, everybody pretends not to remember that Martin Luther King Jr. ended his life speaking about. When was he shot? When he brought together the labor movement and the Black movement and said, I'm standing up for striking sanitation workers. So Chris, watch your back. This is when they start shooting you. This is when they shot Fred Hampton when he started organizing workers and bringing together Black power. This is when they shot King. This is when they shoot everybody. So please, somebody out there, get this man a bodyguard. But this has become, I think, a great moment. And for Black people who have been watching in some horror, as we've seen Black Lives Matter, the corporation, not Black Lives Matter, the people, not the movement for Black lives that existed for 500 years and will continue to exist. But we've been very disappointed lately as more and more information has come out about how the leadership of BLM has been buying mansions and taking the people's money and not supporting families who have actually been the victims of violence and have been generally enriching themselves and doing everything that this movement was supposed to be against. So a lot of Black people have been feeling this kind of despair at seeing this movement taken from us or co-opted or frittered away. And here we have the ALU showing us that young Black organizers, despite people on Twitter trying to take away the victory, despite people trying to say that Chris shouldn't be taking up space, this is young Black organizers who are showing us that the movement for Black lives is never dead. It will not die. And in fact, it is much more than a t-shirt. It is much more than advocating for the Democratic government. It has been, is, and always will be a broad-based movement of labor, international justice, indigenous sovereignty, anti-racism, fighting for our homes, fighting against police, fighting against the military. So thank you, Amazon, for giving us so much hope this week. And thank you for Chris Smalls and all of the ALU. I think that is the hottest t-shirt on the planet. If anybody watching can get me an ALU shirt, I'll be rocking it on the breach.